So you look all ready to go. What are we gonna do today?
The meat chickens are in the barn and we're moving them out to the pasture.
Good morning, Cody. Are you going to eat your breakfast? You going to eat your breakfast? Good morning, Coco. Feeding him all by yourself today. Removing the meat birds. Don't drop them.
Hello. You can go like this and grab your wings with it. There's more. There's more. Come on.
Hey, don't drop them so far.
Black one. Oh my gosh. I bet they're gonna be in heaven right now. That one over there is already digging into it.
Chickens living as chickens. These are my Cornish cross and my broad-breasted turkeys. Eating grass, scratching, running around.
We need to give them water.
Yeah, we'll give them water. We're gonna move them out and give them water.
And food. I mean, they have food, but you know what I mean.
So these guys, they still get their feed. The turkeys are still in with the chickens because we haven't finished the mobile turkey coop yet. But if you can see, I'm gonna squat down here. They got tons of room above their heads. Even though this thing is only, it's probably 2.5 feet tall. There's a turkey right there. They got plenty of room still to stand up and walk around. And so you saw them, they were scratching all around, but of course when I put food in there, they are still trash compactors, basically. And they just grow. And you see like they've still got a lot of bald spots, but they're out in the sunshine and in the fresh air, scratching and being chickens. What you planting?
Onions.
Onions? Show me your onions. So what did you do?
So I measured out it with my hand and like put my hand down like this, and then this one is far enough away. I kind of did these two kind of close. These two, I tried doing it as best that I could. I kind of got distracted on something else, and then I stuck it in.
Give me a thumbs up.
So we're gardening right now. What are you planting, Mama?
These are big boy tomatoes.
Did you say tomatoes?
You know what these are called? Big boy. And I'm putting blood meal underneath each thing that I'm planting. It's like a natural organic fertilizer.
So this right here is my lemon balm that came back just recently. It is doing really well. Last year I dried a whole bunch of it and I crammed a quart jar really full of it. And mom made some tea with it this year. So I have lemon balm here, over here, and right here. This one I think is the best. This one has a dandelion in it. Don't know what that's doing in there. Mama, are you digging an area for more tomatoes, or are you gonna plant something else here?
This will be a row of Romas, but we're not doing like a whole row all the way across. We're just kind of doing it's like sections. So we're kind of doing rows meets square foot gardening meets the Kroger conglomeration. I'm not sure there's any official name for what we're doing.
Last year I planted a couple tomato plants and they got huge. And they got to a point that I had to look at the fruit to determine what kind of tomato it was, because they were like crossing territory.
The peas.
I think we're gonna plant peas and beans next, and I have to decide where I wanted them. The peas were right here last year, but I'm not gonna plant them in the same place twice. So I think we're gonna plant peas and green beans over there. We did squash down here last year, but I think we're gonna do the squash up here this year. We have to plant some extra pumpkins for the pigs because pumpkin seeds are a good natural dewormer for all the animals, for chickens and pigs and goats.
How about people?
You know, I don't know about that. You don't typically struggle with parasites. Okay, put it in.
They're tasty though.
They're tasty, so that's for sure, but they're really good for the pigs. So if we plant extra pumpkins this year, then we can have them through the winter for the pigs.
Yeah, I really like the way that you roast pumpkin seeds. It's always tasty. So these are Roma tomatoes?
These are the Roma tomatoes. And I have ground cherries somewhere started. Your sister went on the porch to look for them and she couldn't find them. Did you bring them down?
No, I didn't bring them down.
I'll go find them. They were by the blueberries on the front porch, but I'm not sure where they are now.
So you're sprinkling blood meal in the bottom?
I did. I put blood meal down in the hole.
I don't know if you can see it down there.
It just looks like black, real dark soil. And then I
Looks
put
like
the tomatoes in.
charcoal sand.
It does look like charcoal sand. That's a good description.
Oh, we've got a bunch of transplants over here. They're jamming. We gotta get them into the ground. I started zinnias, and they were getting really tall. And I kept joking to people that they were gonna start blooming before I could get them in the ground. I know that's not true because they get like up to my waist before they actually start blooming. But they were getting pretty tall. They're like this tall. That tall. The ducks are loving this pool. They just stopped splashing. They were just splashing. Here, he's gonna do it again. And now he's just taking a bath. And the girl over here is, whoa, there he goes again. The girl wants to come in. What are you planting over here, Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, these are Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
They get really big.
Yeah. The Brussels sprouts didn't do too well last year, did they?
No, and so I'm going to plant them in a different place this year to see if it was the location. They were up there last year, so we're going to plant them over here this year.
Yeah, I planted a few Brussels sprouts last year, and they did start Brussels sprouting. I don't know, what do you call it when the Brussels sprouts actually start forming on the thing?
I don't know what you would call that, because it wouldn't be sprouting. That's something different.
Well, the Brussels sprouts were starting to form, but it was like time to let the animals loose on the garden before they actually started to form, so we didn't get any Brussels sprouts.
Well, we planted them a little late last year.
Yeah.
But I want to show you something. So one of the problems with these kinds of trays is that the plants in them deplete the nutrients really fast and they're very hard to fertilize. So you end up with wilty and discolored leaves. Actually, I need to plant that a little bit deeper. I want to plant this guy deeper because it's only going to get bigger and it's going to fall over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're trying to do with the soil blockers this year. With the soil blocks this year is they're easier to put into a bigger pot or right into the ground, and they get less root bound and they're easier to keep up the nourishment. I'm actually going to dig this guy back up because I didn't plant him deep enough. And I'm going to dig a deeper hole so that, and you can see they get really They get really root bound in those plastic containers. The garden is covered with spent hay and straw from the goat pen. Goat manure is considered a cold fertilizer, so it can go directly on your garden without having to compost. If you put chicken manure right on your garden, it'll burn up your plants. So you have to compost it first. But goats and rabbits and things like that, they're cold manure. We could take the spent straw and hay from when we cleaned out the goat pen and cover it with the garden. And there's a couple parts that are kind of gross, but that's just because the straw is breaking down. So it's kind of composting on top of my garden. So what I do is I brush back all the straw and get down to the soil. So when you're doing organic fertilizing, you want to feed the soil from the top down and allow the nutrients to sink down in. I love looking out over my barnyard and seeing my goats and my pigs and my dogs and my chickens all over the pasture. So what are you working on?
I'm working on building base for a turkey shelter. We're doing A-frame. And I'm having a really hard time with it because it does not want to stay together. Oh, come on.
I'm pretty proud of you for trying out your design though.
I am on the verge of, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm on the verge of.
Well, let's go say hi to Molly because she came over to say hi. Hi, Miss Molly. This is our neighbor's miniature mule. Are you gonna say hi? You camera shy? Come here, sweet girl. Come here. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetie. Oh, I'm stuck. Hi, babe. We don't have any more dandelions. She really likes dandelions, but they've all turned to wishes.
If this thing keeps going up, I'm gonna re-nail it right between the others. Took a lot of time to saw the corners off of these brace pieces. This is not as easy as it might look.